Hi, Ben, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, so this is Ben Schwegler. Ben is the chief scientist of Disney as of like yesterday, no longer?
Yeah, I just retired.
Yeah.
After 30-some years.
Yeah, so he's not near a computer, so we're not going to do Zoom, and this will be real quick. But Ben is a remarkable guy. He oversaw a lot of things. I think in Denmark, he oversaw all the fireworks research for Disney. He's really passionate about climate change and our global footprint. And Disney has a lot of real estate, and he set up a lab in Shanghai to really think about CO2 emission. And I think the Nobel Prize that the team that Al Gore is connected with, Ben was connected with. Is any of this true?
Some of it's true, yeah.
Yeah, and one of the things I like. Yeah, one of the things I like about Ben is he lives in Long Beach in a really nice house, and I think the movie American Pie was looking to film a kitchen scene in the first movie. They didn't realize there were going to be multiples, and they did it in Ben's house. And then you were locked in. Then all the other American Pie movies, 2, 3, 4, I didn't see any of those. They needed your house. Is this also true?
Yep, that's true.
Yeah. And then what's the thing you're like?
Yeah, my neighbor also has next door to us is Ferris Bueller's house.
Yeah, so, Ferris Bueller's house. Okay.
Those of you who are Ferris Bueller fans.
Which I'm so sad. I told my 14-year-old about Ferris Bueller, and he said, it doesn't sound like a movie I would like. I mean, I love that movie. I got to talk to him. I feel like I'm being a bad parent and I'm not cultivating that. All right, Ben, what's the other thing? You said you're like 3 degrees of separation from someone. Like, what's you geeky engineer types?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a simple question of mathematics, and that holds true for almost everybody in that room, I'm betting, that there's a few degrees of separation from almost everyone on the planet.
No, but who's the math person that you're really close to? Because a paper that was cited or something?
Erdos. My Erdos number.
Yeah. What's your Erdos number?
My Erdos number is 2.
2. Who's heard of this? Okay, who hasn't? Okay, well, so now you've met like the Grand Lord number 2, Ben Schwegler. All right, hey Ben, so in your role in being the chief scientist as of yesterday, but today no longer of Disney, what do you think about augmented reality, and what are the types of things that are possible? I had, at our last conference, we had a bunch of, 8 people from Disney come, and they said something about if you walk in the hotel room after your experience of an event, maybe the walls could come alive with content of you in the theme park. They didn't want to go on the record, so don't record this. Don't record that, guys. And they also said that while the rides, if you put on a VR headset, that it's counterintuitive, you won't get sick. But they said, well, VR is not so interesting to us because we want people to experience our theme parks, and VR kind of cuts people off. And we want AR because we know every square inch of the theme parks, and we want to enhance the experience. And so we're really bullish on AR. And I know you don't speak for, how many employees work at Disney?
160,000.
Does that include all the people that dress up as Mickey Mouse and stuff?
Yeah, it includes them all, yeah.
Yeah, so you're not speaking for them, and you don't work for them now, and you could probably say things you couldn't say yesterday.
Yeah, that's right. After 35 years, I'm now collecting a pension, and I'm actually going to go back to Stanford and continue to be a professor at Stanford. So
yeah.
That's exciting.
And I'm excited about that because the next ARiA is at Stanford, so we should talk. But maybe take a minute on this phone call and say, what do you think about augmented reality, digital information, augmenting our experience with the physical world? What do you make of that?
Well, so look, we actually one of the people who worked in my lab in China won the first Shanghai hackathon, coming up with an AR device that was focused mostly on the design industry. And we think that the potential for the design and construction industry is absolutely enormous. And that's quite apart from the original dream I had about AR, now probably close to 12 years ago, where we wanted to use it to transform any city into a virtual theme park. But our goals now have become a little bit more pragmatic and a little bit more oriented towards a market that we really think we understand.
So wait, let me unpack that. That was fascinating. So instead of having a walled garden where you have people pay to get in to your real estate that you guys built and control, you want to take things that already exist and allow people to navigate them and have an experience. That was sort of the idea?
That was exactly the idea. Yeah, we wanted to put on a pair of glasses, AR glasses, and basically walk through Paris and see every famous movie kiss on the bridges of Paris laid over the bridge from where you're standing. We wanted to have every famous James Bond car chase scene laid over the place where you are. So, yeah, that was kind of the idea that we had.
Wow. So, now that you don't work at Disney, is there anything you can say that you couldn't have said before?
Nope.
God, they got you good.
What I can say is, what I cannot talk about, of course, is any of the stuff that I know that Disney's working on.
Yeah.
Right? That I'm sorry to say I can't say. I can be a little bit more open now about how I see the AR market in the design and construction world, because that is something that I'm going to keep on doing. Yeah. And keep on doing that as part of my work at Sci-Fi at Stanford.
Yeah. So in closing, maybe say 3 things that you think this robust community that's listening in should be aware of from your perspective on AR, Ben. Just any 3 things on this topic.
Any 3 things. One, I guess the first thing is to, I would say the gamification of an experience is something that's going to be pretty important to get adoption. I don't exactly know what that means or how to do it, but if you can make it interactive, the AR experience interactive with fellow players or with fellow people looking at the same model, that's a big deal. Secondly, I would say don't forget the practical questions, like the ones of design and construction. And third, I would say, just try and have some fun, actually. Now that I'm officially retired from the grind of corporate America, I'm much more open to having fun.
Hey, last question. I know you left your American Pie house and you moved to Shanghai. Did you notice a difference in the smog? And I know you're a big biker and you take a lot of pride in being able to, experience the outdoors through bikes. Just curious, as we think about augmenting our reality, our physical reality is also changing around us. That could have implications.
Yeah, well, so look, Shanghai, I ride a bike a lot to commute in Shanghai. I don't ride a bike the way I do in California or in France, which is to say for hardcore exercise. I did for the first year or 2 that I was there, and finally I just said, it's too crazy. The traffic is too crazy, and my fellow riders are too crazy. So, no, but I commute on those share bikes, and I love them.
Yeah. Hey, what's the best Disney theme park on the planet? Last question. And why?
Well, I will say that, but I can't say what the best one. I can tell you my personal favorite, and my personal favorite is the original one here in California, just because it's so tiny, and because it's basically a horticultural museum that you could never, ever do again. The kind of plants that are there, if you know what you're looking at, are never to be repeated because you could never get them into the U.S. again, or any place else for that matter. So,
great.
So, yeah, that's my personal favorite. I couldn't say what the best is, though.
All right. Hey,
someone better than me should say that.
Will you speak at ARiA when we're at Stanford? Just say yes.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Okay, great. All right, we got our second speaker for ARiA at Stanford. Hey, see you, Ben.